Hey guys, I'm EJ from Baltic 144 Productions, and today we're going to do a full product review, which is something I've never really done on this channel. So this will be a good first one. And as you can see here, we will be reviewing the Bachmann N-Scale Sound Value DCC equipped nickel plate road Berkshire steam locomotive. Now, these came out, I think last year, 2017, or maybe the year before. I'm not exactly sure, but I know they've been on the market for quite a while, and a lot of people have been purchasing them. One of my friends, the Nuga Rail fan, he recently got a Kanawha, so you can go check out his product review of the C&O Kanawha. I'll leave a link in the description below. But I'm going to be doing a full, in-depth, detailed review on the nickel plate variation of the Bachmann 284. But the only thing I'm going to do different is I'm not going to be playing any of the locomotive sounds, just because this review is mainly just for cosmetics and actual performance and not so much the sound. I'm pretty sure a lot of you will actually know what the Bachmann sound or the sound files actually sound like. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so here's the front of the locomotive, and as you can see already, we already have very nice prototypical detail. I love the classification lamps that they actually did the extra step to do, like little white marks here and there. The numbering on the number plates are very nice and crisp all along the headlight. Up here we have the Mars light. Now, one thing I want to point out about the Mars light, I think Bachmann makes either maybe 2 or 3 different variations of the nickel plate Berkshires, but the 765 model does not have this Mars light. The reason why they did that is they wanted to portray 765 as it was in excursion service pre-2017, or anything that wasn't, post-2017 or even 1985 when she did wear it that one other time. So on the 759 model, we do have the Mars light since she's kept it for pretty much most of her life. Also, up here are some more number boards with nice legible numbers. And down below, we have a nice coupler with a trip pin. Prototypical pilot, as you would see a lot on the nickel plate Berkshires. We have a coupler cut bar here. Nice flagpoles. Good step ladder detailing, air pump shields, and nice railing that goes right across. Really neat. Here's a side view of the 759. We are on the engineer's side, and already you just see lots of detail. I love that you have the front end throttle. This is separately applied, by the way. This is not molded into the boiler like you would get on some of the Kato models. This is separately applied. So is this check valve right here, which is really nice. Here's a builder's plate. I never really took the time to read it, but I believe it's legible. Not exactly sure. I'd have to get a magnifying glass if I want to find out for sure. You have, whoops, sorry about that. Drop my pointing screwdriver. All right, here we go. You have the New York City and St. Louis. I think that's the full name for the nickel plate road, but you got the nice lettering here. Down below, you have a basic pin. It's all metal, drive gear, just the basic push-in pins to hold all the linkage together. Beautiful, beautiful Baker valve gear. And I think one of the features I like that Bachmann did, they kind of did like a really dark metal, to make it look like the engine was used. I really like that detail. more frame detail of Baker valve gear. Here's your power reverse. This is a separately applied power reverse. Here's your air reservoir, which is really nice. More piping detail along the side. The firebox, that has molded in piping, but it's not too bad. I like that they actually decided to paint some of this piping in an actual black instead of leaving it all silver. Bachmann did a really nice touch on that. And then down here you have your pony truck. One thing I should point out is when you purchase any of the Bachmann Berkshires, you're going to have white walls on your drive wheels. I mean, I'm a little high. There we go. I, on the other hand, because I wasn't too much of a fan of the white walls on my 759, I decided to paint them black. So just so you know, if you're going to purchase one of these models, you're not going to get all black wheels. That was a custom paint job that I did on my own. Here's the top of the locomotive, and here you can see a separately applied whistle. Another thing I did with this whistle is if you look, come over here real quick, you'll probably see that the bottom and the base of the whistle to the dome, that's all black. That was another custom paint job of mine because when you get yours, it's going to be like all brass colored, just so you know. So some of this stuff as far as paint jobs concerned was kind of my doing just to improve the looks of it. Over here you have your safety pop-off valves. I don't know what this is. I never understood what that piece was there. Well, if we can get into focus. I don't know what this is, but you have your two dynamos over here. You have your injector turrets. Up here on the sand dome, you have your little sand hatches with little like lift notches, which was a really nice touch. I'm really proud of Bachmann for doing that. Here on the cab, the one thing I didn't like too much about this model was the roof hatch. This is casted in, and it doesn't slide. It does not slide at all. So you kind of just have this hole just kind of there, so it's permanently open. But, I mean, I don't like it too much, but it doesn't bother me too much. And again, just more side detail. The reservoir, you got more pipe detail, another check valve here. There's your feed water heater right above the crosshead, and it's just really, really nice detail. I love it very much. Now here's a look at the back of the cab. Now I can only detach the tender so much from the drawbar because all the DCC and sound wiring that goes from the locomotive circuit board to the tender, it's all like permanently connected by all these wires. But in here you can see a little bit of the stoker valve piping. You got a little firebox door. Everything is casted in to the back. It's not the most detailed cab in the world, but then again, it's N scale, so you're kind of limited to certain things due to its size. Now, of course, here's the side of the tender. Again, you have really good and crisp nickel plate road lettering. Even the full railroad initial up on top. The coal, this is not real coal. This is maybe like some type of plastic mold, maybe metal, I'm not sure. It sounds like metal. Again, lettering and numbering, really nice. You have a reverse headlamp, which is operational. You have a semi-separately applied step ladder. The actual, like, I guess you can say rails for the ladder, these are separately applied pieces, but the steps are actually casted into the shell of the tender, which I think was actually pretty clever of Bachmann to do. Down below you have your coupler cut bar and again your standard knuckle coupler with the trip pin. And of course here's the top of the tender. You have your water hatches, some rivet detailing. Pretty basic tender, but I like it because it kind of adds some elegance to it. So yeah, that's the full cosmetic review of the nickel plate Berkshire. Now it's time for the performance test. Now, I don't have like any scales or anything for pulling power because to me that's not too important. It pulls just fine, it's N scale. But we're going to see how smooth it runs, how well it reacts, you know, just the basic stuff like that. Alright, we're hooked up to some cars. We have an 8-car consist. 4 of those cars are my absolute favorite Fox Valley models, Milwaukee Road box cars, the rib sides. So let's get this engine rolling. We'll start headlight. Actually, you know what? I know I said I wasn't going to play the sound earlier, but just so you can hear the whistle and bell, I'm not going to go too much into the sound. Let's turn the sound on. Again, it's that generic Bachmann sound. Here's the whistle. Here's the bell. Alright, enough with the sound. Let's roll her out. So yeah, overall, the Bachmann Berkshire is a very, very good puller. When you're on a low pull speed, I notice it gets a little jerky, but that also kind of depends on what you set your DCC settings to. It kind of rocks a little bit, but I won't let that bother me too much because steam engines kind of do that in general. But otherwise, overall, this is a really nice model. If I were to give it a rating from 0 to 10, I'd definitely put it at an 8.9. Well guys, I hope you liked that review. I'm EJ, and I'll see you next time.